nothing to lose because you don't. And when you realize that, that's when you make the decision that you're going to play your best. Because if you don't have it tomorrow. You don't get another 48 minutes. That's what we're here for. The pride, the tradition, the family. Yeah, about the guys in this room. Nothing else. 48 minutes for everybody who's here. Do you understand me?
Yes, Coach.
Do you understand me?
Yes, Coach.
Welcome back to Title to Titles. I am your host, Nino Brown, a.k.a. DDP, and you are watching the 51st episode of P2P, and I got my co-host. He's out in Indy at the Combine. Him and Dean out, they're getting it in. Boomer, a.k.a. Jared Gray. How are we doing tonight?
I'm good, man. It's been a crazy week. Obviously, we've been grinding since Monday. I got here like 1 a.m. We're eating food every day, different places. Uber Eats when we have time. You feel like you're grinding like crazy, and then you're like, oh, we haven't eaten yet. And we like this morning, we were there at 7 a.m. Got up, didn't eat, went straight there, grabbed some coffee. It was pouring, absolutely pouring.
Yeah.
Like 20-mile-an-hour winds. We get there, we're crushing it, and we're like, man, it's like 1 o'clock. We gotta get some food in. So, it's been a crazy time. It's been a great experience, but I'll be honest, I'm a little whipped. Here's the crazy thing: I ain't had an energy drink all week. I ain't had a Bang. I ain't had a Red Bull. I ain't had nothing.
God bless, but
yeah, it's weird. Like
you know me.
Yeah, and it's mostly because I just haven't drove to get one, probably. But
well, I appreciate you doing the show with me tonight. I know you've been, running it down to the bone, but you've been doing some naps, so keeps you going.
Yeah, I needed a nap. Day 2, day 1, I needed a nap. I ain't gonna lie, I needed it.
Yeah, it happens. The body wears down, especially when you don't have the extra caffeine. So, you know the drill. Every week we start off with our weekly headlines. This is the 51st episode, so I got 3 topics I want to talk to Boomer about. Right off the rip, I find it kind of like you expected it. UCLA signed Chip Kelly to a contract extension through 2027. He's set to make $6.1 million this year, and then 6.2 the following 3-4 years, I believe, after that. And then if there's a buyout, it's a buyout at $8 million.
Yeah, I actually like that for him. He's not trying to handcuff them. Jimbo is handcuffing A&M like crazy. I mean, it's just impossible to fire him. And even watching as many players has just left. And UCLA, love or hate it, it's not like it's their basketball team or their softball team. Their football team's just not who they used to be.
No.
And the biggest thing for them is he's willing to understand that, and he's wanting to make them as strong as possible with what he has. And I give him props for that.
Well, he got a big boy in there. That recruit Dante Moore quarterback should be interesting.
That's a massive get, by the way.
Now, I don't really want to dive into UCLA too much because we'll probably break them down in the coming weeks. As we're doing Pac-12 today with Washington. But does he beat out Colin Sheehy for the starting role, or does she start the first couple of games?
So, I love Sheehy. I think he really played very well. I think he has an absolute cannon. He runs well. Mm-hmm. I'm surprised Cephas didn't roll with him, to be honest with you. I just really like his game, and I think because of his experience, and obviously, you need to let the Dante Moore understand what he has. Get into school. Hey, give me an A. Your first semester. Really buckle down your first semester, and let's get through these classes. Let you get used to the college life and the pressure of being the guy for the next 3 years. Because I think that he's going to play. I don't think how you hold him back, but you also know Chip Kelly is willing to hold somebody back,
right?
Because he's such a good coach in coaching his scheme.
Yes.
So And I think that's a lot of it, to be honest with you. And I'm Dante Moore's still a dude. So
yeah, he's an absolute dude. But you're right, 100%. Kelly doesn't like to put his players in a position where like they could really fall in their face. You know what I mean? He tries to put them in the hammock, nice easy swing, get them off nice, and then all right, get your feet on the ground and start running. But you know, he had a decent year this year. Kind of like UCLA kind of turned it around a little bit in previous years. So I can understand the extension. They keep him in there for a little bit. Now you were down there for this one, so this is another one on the docket. We're going to talk two topics about the combine. Michigan Wolverines DB DJ Turner runs a 4.2640, the fastest 40 since the fourth fastest 40 since 2003. What were your thoughts? How was it down there when he ran the 4.2?
It's funny, because you're sitting there watching it live, and you can hear DJ talk, through the mic and everything, and he's talking about something else, and he just stops. He's like, "Wow, this is fast," To see him go from, hey, I want to talk about this, and he's got content he's got to put out, to absolutely like, wow, this is fast, because we were all like, this is about to be getting it, and it was smooth though. I mean, he didn't come off the line, wobbly or nothing. It was straight
down the middle.
It was. I mean, he came up like you would think a track star would come up. I mean, it was really, really smooth, and to be honest, it looked like he had more in the tank. I mean, he looked like he shut it down about 2 or 3 yards shy, and we're like, oh my gosh, dude! Like he might have broke 4.24.
Yeah, he was boogie down for sure.
It was impressive. It definitely helped his stock because you always wonder like what a 40 times is going to do, and there's plenty of guys that really help their stock, obviously. But Turner absolutely blew it out. It gives A-Chain something to do.
Yeah. So you want to talk about, there was those low 40s, those 4.2 something, 4.31s, there was a lot of 4.35s. My guy Nick Jones ran a 4.5, okay, out of Ball State. Now that ain't speedy by any means, but my man is creeping. Daniel Jeremiah likes him. A lot of these guys on NFL Network are starting to talk about him. I've been talking about Nick Jones for a little bit. You know that. Since the Costa Steele, when we were dead in Ball State, I've been trying to get Nick Jones interviewed through Costa for a while now. He's sneaky good. He's in your face. He's not the biggest corner, but my man runs the 4.5 the whole game. Like, the speed doesn't decrease. So what are your thoughts on Nick Jones and what you've seen so far?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all pretty impressed with him. Really got good hips. I mean, I feel like this DB class is ridiculous, to be honest with you. Top to bottom, the safety groups are big. The safeties move like corners. The corners are very fluid. They're all fast.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about how the safeties only like 2 ran over a 4.5.
Right.
So, that 4.54, it was there the whole time. There's like 3 guys that didn't. And when you see everybody else doing that, you really set yourself apart in a bad way. But he set himself apart in a good way because he just really was pretty solid. I think that he's going to make a roster, obviously. He's still going to have a little chip on his shoulder. He just didn't make the moves like Adebarwe, comes out, runs a 4.49 at 285 pounds. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah,
I mean,
they showed that Bosa and another gentleman on the simulcast running, and he just was like, boop, at the end. See you later.
And it's really cool to see with him, because his brother goes to Oklahoma, and obviously I run a Sooner Shakedown. PJ put that on the board. Like, he's gonna be like, nah, this isn't a thing. I can't be beaten. My brother ain't gonna do this to me. And his brother had an absolute day. I mean, enough where he's going to be a first-round pick probably.
Yeah, he's probably going to creep at the bottom end of it, yeah.
And he said he's wanted to be a Chief. And I'm telling you, that last pick in the first round is looking, tasty right now.
That's a spicy one.
I mean, they need it. They need a defensive lineman that can, bounce back and forth. And he would really help, their defensive line from last year. So
you put him on the side of Karlaftis, right? So you have him on the inside and Karlaftis on the outside.
And then Chris Jones on the other side. Dumb.
Bro. That's crazy.
It'll be scary. It'll be a lot of fun. And I think that's just something they could need. And let's not forget, we've been Scott fans, Daniel Scott from the get-go. And, we knew that he was going to have a day, and we've been talking about it in the Senior Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
We have this Weddle vibe to me, that we
got that
agree
swag with. To him like Weddle has. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. The safety guys, like, they just had it. He just has that, like, the way he
Yeah,
holds
he said, hey, watch out. I'm going to come with it today. And he did. I mean, he ran a really solid 40. His ball skills were great. His hips were really good, and somebody said, it was like, man, they were talking about Stacey Dale was like, hey, you want to just go ask the Kansas City coach, when they're going to pick Daniel Scott? It was, I mean, like we said, if we put him next to Reed, it would be ridiculous. And we said that at the Senior Bowl.
Right.
So we've been on this train, and it's been a lot of fun, to obviously, I know you're a big DB guy, and I know you wished you were here just watching and doing the mouth of the DBs, because this DB class is deep. I mean, you're going to get somebody in the 4th round that could be a second rounder.
Hey, and a guy that just went probably from like nobody's boards because they're not too familiar with, this team, to 2 guys from Maryland that just blew doors. But my guy, Mr. Banks, he about to cash that check at the Banks, bro.
Yeah, 100%.
Tell him about my guy. Yeah,
Banks absolutely came out of nowhere. Obviously, like you were on him for a long time. But for him to come out and run the 40 he did, was just like, well, I mean, we already knew he was good, but now we know nobody's going to beat him deep. So it's just, Banks had a big day. Riley had a big day.
Yeah.
Running a good 4.40 was massive for him.
And he looked upset.
Yeah, he was not. Yeah, he can feel like he was comfortable. He made that pretty known. Like felt like he's a little tight all day. Jamie
Robinson, my guy.
He had a day. I mean,
he's solid, bro.
His shoulders were right here and his hips were just rotating. We were just talking about him and Scott were back to back all day in drills.
Yeah,
and it was awesome for us that have been on those training. We were like, man, it's been really fun to watch these two really get after it, because they're guys that are going to be may not be in the 1st round, but those are going to be guys that are steals. I mean, they're going to be great 2nd round picks.
Oh yeah.
So,
I got a question. I noticed it a lot. I watched the whole all the DB safety drills. I got home a little earlier from work. What's up with the slippage near the 50-yard line? I feel like the paint. We're back in the paint scenario again. Almost every DB and safety slipped at the tip of the logo.
Yeah, and if you look at it, like you can see, like it was running out. Like it looked like it was worn out quite a bit. It's it was definitely worse in person. Looks like than obviously on TV. Because you just don't get the over top view.
Right.
But it was worn out. You could see obviously you could see it from the players slipping, and that's rough to watch when you know that they could
ball. Yeah, like Scott had one in the bat pedal where he looked like he was locked in. And then he went to make his move and he slid a little bit, but he recovered fine, caught the ball and made his move. But it's like, man, like if he was,
I'll tell you the biggest movers. I mean, we know that Illinois guys are getting after it, right? I mean, every single one. Now, Brian had a good day, but Dean Now's here with me, and you called it earlier. What's Martin? Dude, you want to talk about somebody who's getting paid? Martin had a 44-inch vertical.
Woo!
Right? He ran a 4.3, right?
4.35, 4.35, 4.36, something like that.
Yeah. So low 4.44 or 4.3, ran a 44-inch vertical, had an 11.2 broad jump. Like, I mean, this dude got paid today. I mean, him. Obviously, we've been on Juju Brents.
Yeah.
He had a big day.
Hey, my boy crept into it. I know there's a lot of pedigree in this draft, and Joey Porter did his thing, right? But Jason Taylor II,
he came
in and got paid.
We were talking about this, right? Jason Taylor, he had 99 solos this year, or 99 tackles, and 80 of those 99 tackles were solos.
Dude,
that's ridiculous.
Dog, daddy's boy, he learned.
Yeah, so I mean, he had a really good, he's not as fluid as everybody else, but that dude, he ain't got no problem tackling. And
he don't miss.
It'd be awesome if somebody puts him at nickel, maybe a linebacker. He gonna eat. I mean, he's going to eat in the box. So
All right, let's talk about one more topic from the combine before we break down, the Washington Huskies going into 2023. I got two guys that everybody's talking about going into tomorrow, but about a week ago, nobody gave a poop pretty much about these two guys, right? If you really think about it. But these are the high ceiling, low floor guys. Man, and they got swag. They're feeling themselves going into tomorrow. They asked Will Levis why he's throwing. My man said, I got a cannon and I'm showing it off.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously it's going to be the line of the combine, especially if he has a good day, and then obviously AR.
AR saying that it's called Cam Jackson.
He's been calling himself Cam Jackson.
Yeah.
And let's just hope he can throw better because, I mean, maybe he gets first year, Cam Newton and not last year's Cam Newton.
So, hey, I'm not going to renege on my he's not ready, okay? Because I still truly believe he's not ready.
I agree.
But I watched, and I love these things because Mariucci's not, Gruden. Mariucci don't lay off. Like, if you mess up on a drawing of a play, he going to get you, right? So he drew a play up for when he had Rice and who was the other gentleman? It was back in like the late 90s, 49ers, right? Drew up a play for AR. Blah, 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 erase it. They did a couple things. I talking. Boom. Ended the thing. Came back to him. Asked him. Draw me up the play. Right. He recited the play word for word to him. Drew it up the correct way. But he did it in his own dialogue, like on how they would say it at a Gator, while doing it through Mariucci's way. And then Mariucci asked him what his flaws would be, and he said his footwork. Sometimes he gets a little antsy in the pocket, and leads to him running out. And Mariucci asked him about, does that lead to errant throws? And he said, yes, sometimes it does, but the other 50%. It lets him be more of being able to open up the playbook. So I appreciate his honesty that he knows that, that he's not there. But what he said was he thinks he's the best quarterback in the draft because what he brings to the table, the fact that he's got a strong arm as anybody in the class and that he, his mobility is better than anybody and he can run a guy over and nobody else can, which I think is false because I think Will can run a guy over. But I don't think Will should be running anybody over if he wants to have longevity in the NFL.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm excited for tomorrow. I just want to see, my guy ball out. And obviously, coach will be chirping at us if AR has a good day. But let's
100%. He's going to anyways.
Yeah. Well, let's get into the Washington Huskies. This is going to be a good episode. There's a lot of guys on this dock. There's some guys that I didn't even know about, some transfers that came in that I'm excited to see. And there's some recruits. And then, obviously panics. But what I will say is, Mr. DeBoer, he doesn't like watching different movies, huh? He watches the same movie over and over again. It's like Bad Boys 1, Bad Boys 2, put that back in and repeat. Wherever he goes, he just brings the same guys. It doesn't matter. It don't matter if it was Eastern Michigan. It don't matter if it was Fresno State. It don't matter if it's the Washington Huskies out in the Pac-12. He just brings his guys with him, and that's all he wants. There will be no change. So you got to know when you got the ball, these are the guys you got. So they came in last year, 10-2? 11-2 with the bowl victory, 7-2 in conference. The offensive scheme was a spread formation. I will say, not bad. Recruiting ranking was 27th. In the portal, they were 31st. And
hey, real quick.
Go ahead.
We just got breaking news.
What's this?
Washington announces DB Julius Ervin retired.
Medical, yes. I guess he didn't play last year. COVID, right? And then he had an injury previous to that. I guess everything's not well. I literally had seen it blip up on the thing before I came on. He's medically retired. I didn't really get to dive into too much. I just saw there was a COVID and they had an issue before that. So yeah, D now dropping gems on us live on the air. I love it. What are your thoughts on Kalen DeBoer? Like, he's 90-11 overall, right? Last year was his first year with the Huskies. He won AP Coach of the Year, Pac-12 Coach of the Year.
You said he won Coach of the Year his first year. And this is with Riley showing up.
Yeah.
So, we talked about this. We were really excited about him coming, that's a massive jump from Fresno State. We were a little worried. Like, was it too big?
Yeah.
We watched somebody that's from Boise State fail there, and DeBoer came in balling. He brought in the right guys. Let Penix play, like legit play quarterback. that's something we're worried about too. And it was good, dude. I mean, I can't grab about it.
So here's my issue. Like he's 90-11, right? But like 80 of those dubs come with homeboy. His OC comes in the pocket with him, right? Like 80 victories with a dude that's your OC. Is it you or is it the OC? Why can't you go anywhere without these guys?
Solid though.
What?
The defense was okay last year.
It was middle of the pack. It wasn't, it was okay. It was okay.
Hey, middle of the pack with a brand new team.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, like,
and I'll tell you who wasn't middle of the pack with a brand new team. Grinch.
No. Okay. But look at what I'm saying is Ryan Grubb, the OC, right? 2019 in Eastern Michigan, turned around that offensive program. 2021 at Fresno State, the offense, he's the OC, right? Everything ran through him. They were 26th in the nation at 33.4 points per game. They averaged 326 yards a game, 137 rush yards a game, over 400 yards of offense, and he had Jake Haener, throw for 4,096 yards and 33 touchdowns, right? Maybe he's a one-trick pony. Last year, Penix had his career year, right? And who tried to take him away? Nick Saban says, boop, 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 boop. Yeah. What's up, homie? How you doing? You balling out this year. You want to come down and save me? He goes to the interview, comes back, and Washington says, yo, I'll give you a $2 million raise if you stay. I'm going to stay. You know what I mean? So, like, I wonder if the Boys' record is more gruff, or more him.
Well, it takes a coach to be a coach, right? And, the guy's done it well, and I'm with you. He's got 80 wins. He's sure, right? But, like we agree, we don't think Gruff's going to be there. Well, next year, McBride's last year.
Yes, this year, right? Probably last year.
Yeah. I mean, this is it. So, and because everybody got to see now, Washington's got a tough schedule that's coming up. They're going, especially there's a lot of Big Ten teams that could use him and would love him. So,
bro, that month of November, Washington's hurting. USC, Utah, Oregon State, like that's right. And I think they're all on the road. So that's not a very good run for you. So you better be locked and loaded. Now, we're going to talk, offense, we're going to the defensive side. It worries me a little bit. I know Inge is his guy, but why you got to go with co-defensive coordinators? Why you got to go with Inge and Morrell? Like, I know Inge has followed you around everywhere, and his numbers are pretty good. You all right. They're not bad, but he allows offenses to throw for over 55% on an average, which for me is kind of like, I'm not a big fan of that.
It's better than 70.
It's better than 70, but he also allows over 115 yards rushing it doesn't matter what team he coaches. So he you know what I mean? Like the run defense is an issue.
It's an experience thing. That's why Morrell's the instead of the guy, right? I mean, and if Morrell, it's going to go one of two ways. Morrell's either gone or Morrell's the guy and Inge is gone.
Inge is gone.
So
right. I think the boy's ready. I think he understands that now everybody else in college football realizes that his guys are real.
There's 140 other jobs available here in a little bit. So, I mean.
Yeah. And some of them come with a bigger bag.
Yep.
So, all right, let's dive into these guys, these dudes on the offense. We already know. Michael Penix, he had a career year last year. He led the nation in passing yards over 4,600 yards, right? 6'3", 218 pounds. 13 games, he went 362 for 554. It was over 65% completion. Like I said, 4,600 yards. 31 touchdowns, 8 picks, 8.4 yards per attempt. I like that. I mean, he can throw the ball across the field quickly, sharp. He's not really the biggest dual threat quarterback, but he can extend plays and pick up first downs. But when you give him time in the pocket, he'll kill you. He is a clean pocket killer. Can Michael Penix repeat what he did last year? Or was that a new fish in a new pond?
I mean, I would argue easily, because if you did it in your first year in the system, what are you going to do in your second year in the system? It's kind of like Jake Haener, right?
He had a rocket.
Yeah. So I expect the same with Penix, and Penix becomes
What did you
a
say?
draftable quarterback.
Who's the name you said?
Hayner,
What's the common denominator?
the offensive coordinator.
Okay,
But the head coach is there too.
I know, but when it all just seems to be just growing in the groove. You know what I mean? Like,
the thing is, it could literally just be they are that good together.
And that is a possibility. That is a very good possibility. But I wish I could see, does the board call the plays? You know what I mean? Are they splitting that 50-50, or does one come up with a scheme and the other one calls the plays? I got to dive a little bit more into that to see what the deal is.
Yeah, that's for sure. We're going to find out. I mean, the crazy thing is he didn't run at all this year.
92 yards, right?
He had 92 yards in an Indiana game one,
Right. So I wonder.
I like it. I like it, dude. I mean, I like that he's just playing quarterback. And that's what we were worried about. Was he going to play quarterback?
Well, that was the thing coming in, right? Was his issue was he was trying to do too much. And that's what I said, like, a few months back in the middle of the season. I'm like, oh, he's staying home. Him and Adrian Martinez is staying home unless they have to run. Where at the other schools, they were just like, tuck it and go, bro. I'm out. I'm not dealing with it. In the backfield, it's kind of jam-packed. You got Mississippi State transfer, Dylan Johnson, 6 foot, 215 pounds. I like this kid a lot. All right. He's a dynamic player. He gets moving in a hurry. And once the train gets going, it's hard to stop. He's a dual sport athlete, played basketball and football in high school. I look down the schedule. I'm going to read the numbers quick. 11 games. He had 89 attempts for 488. I know you like 5.5 yards per carry, 3 touchdowns. This is what's crazy. 48 receptions, 285 yards. He had 89 attempts rushing. He had half that receiving. That's wild. But then I went down the schedule to see how he performed. Towards the end, the latter half of the season, when they realized that they had a dude, and they were, giving him the rock against Ole Miss, last game of the year, and Ole Miss was ranked 20th, 12 attempts, 73 yards, 8 receptions for 46 yards. 4 weeks prior to that, against number 17, Texas A&M, 14 attempts, 68 yards and a touchdown, another 4 receptions to 27 yards. The game before that, against Kentucky, was a stinker. He had another game where he went for I think it was 10 carries for 70-something yards and a touchdown with another 6 receptions for 30 yards. Kid's got it. What are your thoughts on him before we break down the rest of these backs?
Yeah, I mean, you already know, we're going to talk to the professor that we like to call, Gridiron.
Yeah.
He's going to tell you, hey, he's 200 pounds,
exactly.
He's got to be 5. He's got a 5 yards to carry in college, and he's got both. He's going to be a pro quarter, he's going to be a pro running back, and they got a gem, in my opinion.
Why do I not hear anything about this kid?
Because look at the offense.
Because it was Will Rogers.
It's because the Pirate. I mean, it's just what it is. I mean, it's a spread offense. And the thing is, you don't know a lot of big Texas Tech running backs, out of the years, or, Washington State when he was there just didn't have a lot of great, run heavy guys. And this dude does it both. And he's, especially being 215 pounds, and he can probably easily be 220 and carry no problem. And he got hands. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to give you a little quick comp.
Yeah, give it to me.
We got Kareem Hunt all day.
Size, everything. I like it.
All day. It's great hands. Got some shake to him. He'll run you over. They better use him exactly like that. And that makes Washington scary, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, they had the Samoan, right? I'll mess his name up. Well, I forget it. It's a crazy Hawaiian name. But he's gone now. So it's interesting because they also got another transfer from Arizona State. That's Dylan Nagata, 5'9", 200 pounds. He had 54 attempts, 272 yards, touchdown, 5 yards per carry. He's more powerful than expected, right? He lacks optimal size. Obviously, 5'9". He's not right there at the 6 foot mark, but he runs with a burst, and he's a threat for big play when the ball's in his hands. He's got good patience and vision, finds a hole, hits the hole, and goes. His shiftiness, he can make a defender miss. Now, I just feel bad for the return, gentlemen. That's Cameron Davis at 6 foot 205 in 11 games last year. He had 522 yards, right? Close to 5 yards per carry, 13 touchdowns, 19 receptions for 137 yards. I don't think he's going to be the dude. He was their dude, right? I don't think he's going to be the dude. And I feel bad for you, sir. But they obviously went out on transfer portal to get guys for a reason. And this is why I ask you, can Penix repeat? Because I feel like they may have a running game this year.
Yeah, so, I mean, it kind of makes it better. I don't know if he's getting the 4,600 yards or whatever, right? But he could easily be a 3,500-yard guy.
Yep.
He could have running backs that, all three could play because they're all 200 plus. So,
yeah.
They're going to pound it. The thing is, it makes the play action that much better.
Right.
And it could be scary good. Like, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with offensively. If they can hold it defensively, they'll be scary in that aspect too. Like as a team, and like you said, they've got a schedule, a tough one, back to back to back.
Yeah.
But I mean, early in the season, I will tell you right now, they're going to be the highest ranked Pac-12 team through the first 6 games because they're going to be 6-0.
You don't like my Ducks?
I said through the first 6 games.
Okay. So you think we're going to lose one? You're saying my Ducks are going to lose one early?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You don't say it's Colorado because we'll be fighting.
No. I mean, the thing is, I actually think you're going to see Oregon and them. You might see 3 Pac-12 teams
be 6-0.
6-0.
Yeah.
And it's going to be, hey, who's better? And it's going to be kind of like, well, Grinch doesn't have a good defense. Washington's balling here, so is Oregon. So I'm telling you, the first 6 weeks is going to be really fun, especially because Pac-12 finally won a bowl game.
Yeah, right.
So it's first time in 2 years. So there's that.
And again, it's this Apple money now, so it'll be interesting to see. Now, I got the question at the bottom of the screen, and I should have said best wide receiver core outside of Ohio State, but do the Huskies have a top 5 wide receiver duo? I think you're on mute, my friend.
No, I'm muted on purpose, though.
Okay. Do the Huskies have a top 5 wide receiver duo with Romeo and Nduze and Jalen McMillan? Before I break it all down, yes or no?
No.
They're not top 5. Are they in the top 10?
In the Pac-12, they're top 5.
Are they a top 10 in all of football?
My man Dinos is the top 4.
I had a feeling. I know he's a big Odunze guy. He loves them. And in his article about returning wide receivers, this duo was in there. So this is why I kind of brought it up. I'm going to run it down real quick. Now, in his sophomore year, right, Romeo Odunze, 6'3", 200 pounds, in 12 games, 75 receptions, 1,145 yards, 9 touchdowns, 13.9 yards per catch. Jalen McMillan, 6'1", 180 pounds, 13 games, 79 touchdowns, 1,098 yards.
79 catches.
I'm sorry, 79 catches, 79 touchdowns, breaking every record in the world. 79 receptions, 1,098 yards, 9 touchdowns, 13.9 yards per reception. 2 gentlemen averaging almost 14 yards per catch. And then this guy came in out of nowhere last year, and he had games where he balled out. That's Jalen Polk, 6'2", 190. He's a burner. 13 games, 41 receptions, 694 yards, 6 touchdowns, 16.9 yards per catch.
I forgot that got Bernard.
And then they went and hit the transfer portal and said, you know what, Michigan State, you gentlemen do not know how to use wide receivers. You didn't use Jalen Reed the right way. You haven't used one the right way in a long time. So we're going to take this guy from you. That's Jeremy Bernard, right? 6'2", 195, 4-star recruit, transferred. He had 7 receptions, 128 yards, 2 touchdowns last year, averaged 18 yards per catch, right? This guy's like A.J. Brown, ripped, muscular frame, strong lower body, big-time pass catcher, absolute athlete, right? He gained separation early in routes, shows elite body control on the perimeter. My dude, listen, he is going to be a guy that sneaks his way, especially when you're spreading. Like, this is the guy I think that's going to eat in the hash because you got Polk as your burner, right? The other guys live on the outside. Dude, Jeremy, I love the name, Jeremy Bernard, right? Jeremy, I think, is going to be the dude that eats. He's going to be that Edelman guy, just eating all across the field. And he's big enough where he can take the hits from the safeties and linebackers. So I'm really excited to see what he brings to the table. But I think
when you talk me into something, because I want to be like, I want to like, no, I'm kind of stuck, with my 5 teams, and this and that. But when you really look at it, when you got 3 players that are going to possibly, 2,000-yard receivers is massive.
Yeah.
Right? It love or hate it, USC is going to do what they're going to do. Right. I mean, they have the best quarterback in the country. They might have the best player in the country. Obviously, won the Heisman. So
he's going to win another Heisman.
I'll bet against it. But like you said, they're going to throttle back with the running backs. I think.
Right.
We got a 2-against-1 right now, top 5 wide receiver class. My thing is are we saying top 5 guys, like these guys are top 5 in college and we expect these guys to basically do the A.J. Brown, DK Metcalf, or were this just college?
No. I'm saying they're a top 5 duo in the nation of college football. I'm not saying they're both going to go to the NFL and be a top. I'm saying right now, are they a top 5 wide receiver duo in college football? Because if they're not, I need you to name it.
All right, so I got USC as 1.
Don't even say 1. Ohio State's 1.
Ohio State's 1, right? I'm just saying, like, I'm going left to right. Like, I'm not giving you a 1 through 5. I'm just giving you 5 teams.
All right. And USC, you have them at 1 because of what?
No, I have them like in the top, like as 5 teams. Like not.
But you got to name the players that make them in the duo. Like I'm saying, who's the duo? So it's Singer and Rice.
Rice.
Okay. I didn't want to hear Mario Williams. I didn't want to hear it.
No, but I mean, Mario Williams is number 3 on the team, and put Mario Williams on a lot of teams, he's going to be a lot of teams number 1. So
who?
Williams.
Oh, Mario Williams. Oh yeah, he's probably the 4. I guarantee you.
And that's the thing, is he can be on a lot of teams number 1. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I think
you say 1 and 2, they've got 4 guys that are ballers there. Bro, obviously, like Ohio State's 1, like best in the league, right?
Kentucky's got to be up there.
Kentucky's got a good group.
Brown and Key got to be, like, for young. They're only sophomores, man. They balled out last year.
Alabama's got a deep class.
I got to see it, bro. They ain't did nothing last year.
Well,
and they lost JoJo to TCU.
Yeah.
So I need to see it, and I need to see a quarterback. You know what I mean? Like, so for me, it's Washington, USC, Ohio State. Then it just starts to get really, really, really interesting because I think Oregon can be with Ducky and Franklin. Jurion Ducky is no joke, bro. I know he's going to be a freshman.
I would say Michigan. So Dino brought up Michigan, right? Bro. But their best wide receiver just went to Oklahoma. So
yeah, Cornelius Johnson hasn't stepped up to the plate, and I'm not saying it's just him, right?
No.
Where was Wilson last year?
Yeah, what did Wilson do last year?
Nothing. I mean, they gave him a passing QB.
You cannot say they gave him a passing QB.
Compared to homeboy, right? Wait. You're going to tell me McCarthy's not better than McNamara?
No.
McNamara didn't even throw. He just ran. He threw it behind him.
Neither one of them are passing quarterbacks, just so we're clear.
Well, McCarthy's more of a passing quarterback than McNamara is.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see what's going to happen, at Oklahoma. That's just not kind of Oklahoma, but the transfer aspect alone, the 3 guys they brought in, Farouk's going to ball.
LSU, bro.
LSU lost. That's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah,
and
they got Neighbors and they got
that was the list that I was just going to bring up. Like they've got to be in the list.
Yeah.
Of top 5. And we're not even talking about, there's 140 teams here.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted. We were getting off track.
Off the top of our head, let's put them top 5. I'm kind of with you right now. So, really good numbers. You watched a lot of guys leave. So, pretty crazy wide receiver class right now that we're having the combine. It's not like elite guys, but really deep. So
now, Daniel Jeremiah says this is the deepest tight end class in probably a decade. So let's talk tight ends because I feel with this run game, right? You could spread the field a little bit more, and this tight ends could eat. Now, Jack Westover, I wrote Jake. His name is Jack. 6'3", 250 pounds. He only had 31 receptions and 340 yards. But they went out and got a dude in the transfer.
Davis, bro.
Yeah, from Kyle Pally. 6'5", 240. He had 58 receptions, close to 700 yards, 6 touchdowns, 11 yards per catch. If you look at his body structure and the way he plays the game, there's not much film because obviously Cal Pally's not like, Pally's not the biggest.
Kyle Pally's small.
Yeah. He got a little bit of like Kincaid Musgrave on him. Like he can get off the line. He's athletic, right? But he can block. So I want to see what he can do at a big school. At Pac-12, you put on display. Everything feels like what I believe in the moves that they made on the offensive side. Going to get another tight end. Going to get 3 big guys in the backfield, right?
He honestly reminds me a lot of Freiermuth.
Yeah, right. Like a guy who can block and slide, right? Catching. He's got great hands. Tall dude. I want to see what happens. I feel like the moves that Washington made in the portal, in the recruiting, I think that they could play more of a almost 50-50 style ball this year, which could benefit the wide receivers for bigger plays. I just don't know if it'll put Penix in that leading the nation in passing yards again.
Yep.
But let's go to your side of the ball, because I know the gentleman on this side of the ball, you love him. He's on the screen. He's in the middle of the screen between both of us. He's your guy, right? I had to put him on. I'm like, I got to. I know he loves him.
The thing is, obviously we're talking about Brown Trice. So
yeah.
who is as deep as his class is, and maybe that was part of this. He knows how deep this defensive line class is, and maybe that's part of the reason. Plus, they gave him a little bit of a bag to come back. But when
how
you're talking,
is he eligible, though? How is he eligible? He's only a sophomore last year.
COVID.
Oh, 2 freshman years. I got you. Yep.
Yeah, so he's up, 13 games, 38 tackles, 22 solos, 12 tackles for loss, and 9 sacks. That's better than half the, people in the group. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, then you got Fatu, right? He's 6'4", 260. 28 tackles, 20 solo, 5.5 tackles for loss, 4.5 sacks, pass deflection, forced fumble. Really good back and forth. Then they got Dupree from Fall, right?
Yep.
And we are locked in on guys that go from quarterback to a different position. And I get hated on this, but when you can be valuable somewhere else,
then go.
And there's only 32 starters in the NFL.
Facts.
Okay? Right? Just defensive end alone, there's freaking 60, guys rotating. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was going to say, look at Buffalo. They rotate 3 of them. So,
yeah. So, people rotate. You have a better chance of being somebody. And the fact that we get a guy from Sioux Falls going from quarterback to defensive end is awesome to me. And I just love it. I'm here for it. I don't know if it's going to – he's athletic enough to make the switch.
Right,
so
right.
Good for him. Pretty good. It's going to be awesome. So Zach Durfee is what his name is. Durfee.
Yeah, Durfee.
So I'm excited to see that. Linebackers. I don't know why people keep doing the transfer portal is crazy. All right.
What, staying in the pack? Why they let people?
Let's just stay in the Pac-12. Let's transfer from USC.
Who has no defense?
13 games, 45 tackles, 35 solo, an interception, a TD, and a fumble recovery from Raylan Goforth. Let's just bring him in. He'll start right away because he was ordered. You just like doing this to me. Evan Farm over Forcio is 6'1", 235, 5 games, 10 tackles, 4 solo tackles. Obviously, he's a young guy going to come in and basically be the new blood of the group.
Right.
But I'm not going to say that name twice. That's just crazy to me. Edu Flan is, I'm going to say his first name, so that's it. Then we got Dominique Hampton playing the Husky position.
That's like the Mike position, right? But they don't
Yeah, it's more like we call it a different position in Oklahoma too. 6'2", 220, 12 games, 42 tackles, 26 solo, a half a tackle for loss and 4 pass deflections. People have played this called the robber. They've called the cheetah. They move him from Mike to outside. He can do whatever he wants.
Exactly.
Right? He's more of a roamer, is what he is.
Yeah, like Battle, right? And Branch, like they can play everywhere on the field. You know what I mean? They can play nickel. They can get down in the box if you need them.
Yeah, I really like him. I think he's an athlete. I feel like he's put on weight. But the NFL, we talked about it all week this week. Linebackers aren't 250 anymore. They're
235 is good.
They're fast, elite guys. Guys like Deion Henley converting from wide receiver to linebacker, who's going to be one of those guys. It's just going to shoot up draft boards because he can cover and he can run and he can, hit you in the mouth. So
yeah.
And that's where I think you're going to see these two guys. You got Mikel Easton and Asa Turner, both free safety and strong safety. Easton, 8 games, 7 tackles, nothing big, but he had 2 interceptions and pass deflection. Asa Turner is the guy you really want to talk about, right?
Yes,
52 games, 33 solo tackles, a tackle for loss, 2 interceptions, pass deflection. And the thing is, the guys ate in front of him so much last year. There was a lot of dink and dunk, and nobody tried to really go over top at Washington.
Right.
So Turner didn't really have to eat like crazy. I think you're going to see the year out of Turner that you saw out of somebody we talked in previous, in Jason Taylor's second with 8 solos, 9 on total tackles. You're going to see that this year out of Turner. He's going to be the climber in the Pac-12.
I like it.
It's going to be. He's just a gem that I really think is going to climb this year in this class.
He's got that football look to him. He got that long blonde hair, like Carson Steele playing safety, right? Big boy, hits violently.
Who's the guy from Jacksonville? Winrich
what, Jenkins?
No. The white kid.
Oh.
Winovich.
Yeah. It's not Winovich. Winovich is in Cleveland.
Yeah, not Chase Winovich.
I know you're talking about, but he's got that Winovich look, the long hair, just the wild dude. Just go out there and smash him on football, tackles violently. You know what I mean? You better keep your head on a swivel when he's out there. I like. I'm a big fan of Ozzie Turner.
Yeah, so it's going to be fun, but the biggest thing is what they did. Let's talk about Jabbar real quick. Jabbar Muhammad, transfer from Oklahoma State. Obviously, I'm glad you're gone. Thanks, buddy. You've been eating for years.
He stays around the ball, bro.
48 tackles, 32 solos, a half tackle for loss, an interception, nine pass deflections, and a forced fumble. Yeah. There's guys that don't have 9 pass deflections in 18 game seasons in the NFL. So it's impressive, and that's a really good grab for them. That's a great grab out of the transfer portal. A guy to get somebody to go from Oklahoma State all the way to Washington, it's just crazy to me. He must not have seen the weather because
it rains. It just rains.
I've been there, buddy. Like, I made this trip. Like, it's not a thing to me. So I have great summers though. They brought him on a summer visit. That's what.
Yeah, right.
Like.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, check this out. It's gorgeous.
July. Come on by. It's beautiful.
Yeah, check this out. But we have snow, and he's like, what's that?
Yeah, nah, bro.
But that's a great grab. A really, really good grab. Tell us a little bit about this recruiting class, though. It's really, really solid. So let's get some gems out.
I'm a DB guy, right? So I'm going to talk about my guy first. I'll let you talk about the other gentleman. For me, it's both of them are 4 stars. But for me, I love Curly Reed. Just the name alone, Curly Reed out of Lake Charles High School, Louisiana. From what I read, he is like the top DB out of Louisiana in the last 6 or 7 years. He's a long athletic corner. He's great at press man coverage, right? My dude, he just pins people to the sideline, right? He pins the wide receiver to the sideline. He eliminates one side of the field. Like, you're going to throw it to me, you just throw it to the sideline, and you better get it in a tight window, right? He's good in run support. He plays physical. My man also plays free safety in high school. So there's a possibility that if necessary, you can drop him deep in the secondary. The other gentleman, and his name was out there everywhere, but I like Curly better. That's Caleb Presley.
Hey, let me get on this, right? I'll let you get this right up, right?
Yeah.
He's a twitchy athlete, right? But my man's name's Presley. Dude's got a little shimmy to him, right?
Jailhouse Rock, baby.
Little Jailhouse Rock to you, right? Perfect name. This dude's a lockdown corner. Got some shake to him, like little Presley shake to him.
Yeah.
Hey, watch out. My boy Presley coming with the thunder. Watch out for him.
Oh, I love him. He lean, too, and he gets – bro, he got room to grow. I think he's going to be a stud. Now, I'm going to go to the offensive side of the ball real quick. I'm going to go to the bottom of the docket because I know you like them dirt dogs, right? Offensive tackle, Elijah Jacket. 4-star recruit coming out of Orange, California. 6'6", 290 at 18 years old. Jared. 6'6", 290, bro.
And you know, the crazy thing, he might not be done growing.
No, he'll probably grow an inch and probably 20 pounds before he even shows up to the school. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get really big, like, you know, Phil Lonehold vibes from this guy because, you know, he's very, you know, like a big guy. He's 3 more inches or so, you know, would have to get to Phil Lonehold size, but
6'9", bro. Whew.
Yeah, I mean, be 6'9" would be stupid.
But look at he's a long, lean 6'6". You know what I mean? Like beginning of when his senior year, he started at 265, right? He's at 290 already, bro.
Yeah, my man ate some biscuits. You know what I mean? before he got there, you know, some donuts. You know, he Orange County, you know, got some. There's some good food in Washington. I'm telling you that right now. Go to Mama's. She adds into 12 $12, you know, just get after it, and it's going to be impressive. You know, you talk about some guys that have come out under their head coach. He could be a really, really solid offensive lineman. He might be the best offensive lineman we're going to see in years come out of Washington. Years.
And he can play both sides of the line. He can play left or right, so it doesn't really matter. I don't know. Once he gets like you said, he could grow. I think once he gets to a strength and conditioning program at a P5 school, it's just going to take off.
Yeah, I think it's slimmed down just a smidge. You could probably get down to like 290, right? Or he might bulk up and use that weight.
Put him on the inside.
Yeah. Get him on 310. It'd be scary, bro.
Yeah, try moving that guy around. Good luck.
Yeah, no.
All right, so let's talk about these. You know, they got a stacked wide receiver room, but they brought in 2 dudes in this recruiting poll that are 4 stars. First guy off the list is Tayshawn Lyons, 6'2", 165. Got to put a little bit of weight on, but that's all right. But he got speed, right? He got 11.03 in the 100, 22.37 in the 200 meter. He got a long jump and a triple jump. Long jump, 22 and 11 and a half inches. I mean, long jump, he was 40. Yeah, long jump was 22 and 22 feet, 11 and a half inches. And then it was 43.1 for the triple jump. I mean, my man just out there bouncing like on springs. He's explosive on film, right? Put that all together with a guy with a big arm in Penix. Oh, he going to be a game breaker. The other gentleman is out of Pittsburgh, California. I didn't even know there was a Pittsburgh outside of Pennsylvania, but there is. And this gentleman reigns from there. And that man is Rashid Williams, 6'2", 185. I like that. He's going to be a freshman coming in, 6'2", 185. Plenty of room to grow. He's a long receiver. He got good height. He wins 50-50 balls with ease. He does a good job of shredding press coverage. And he can box out corners because of the size advantage early. I think, you know, by the time he graduates or enters the NFL draft, he's probably going to be around 6'4", right around 200 pounds. That's a big boy.
We got a Hutchinson clone?
Yeah, looking like yeah. And Hutchinson eats, right? He eats. He's a high point king. He ain't going to beat him for the high point, but he contested catch. He gets his thing done. So, I don't know. I think Washington putting the package together, I think they're trying to keep the formula that worked, but adding a little bit to it so that it's not all one-dimensional. Man, I'm going to go out and say that I think they get 10 wins again this year.
Yeah, so I'm kind of with you on this one. I think that Utah finally struggles, you know, and they're going to hit, you know, the 2 losses that they don't want. I really didn't expect them to take their first loss last year. Was
Cam's got an injury, right? He's coming off ACL.
Yeah, so you know, I don't know exactly how severe it is. You know, we see guys come back from ACL, no problem. But I'm with you. I think Utah is going to slide. I think Washington is going to thrive. And let's say this now. I think the top 2 teams we want to say it's going to be Oregon and USC. But I think Washington is going to give everybody a lot of hate. And it's not – I mean, you can't beat them, you know, all the time. So they bring in a great class. Obviously, USC brought in a great class.
Yep.
But a lot of people don't realize how many of the great class that USC brought in, they're sitting as backups. This great class that Washington is coming in are starters. So – and that's going to be a big difference. Could be a little growing pains, you know, in the first couple of weeks. But that's fine. It's the first couple of weeks,
right?
You know, and
they got the starters in the veterans on the team to carry them.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm with you. I think we get another 10-win year out of them. And if we get an upset, out of USC or Oregon, like I said, they've got a tough schedule run there a little bit. Oregon State, Oregon, Oregon State, USC, and Utah is a vaunted 5-week run, and one of those has to buckle. The problem is if you're playing at Autzen, Utah, and USC, good luck.
Yeah, if you're playing all those games on the road, man, if you can win those, you are battle tested, and I'm behind you.
If you win all 3 years, in the Pac-12, you win the Pac-12 championship.
I'm with you. Yeah,
I've got to put you in the playoff. I'm sorry, it's got to happen.
I agree. Now, this was interesting. This was fun. This was one that neither one of us had any ties to. I mean, we didn't have any ties to Auburn or Clemson, but we spoke about them multiple times throughout the year. So we were. I'm going to give 3 more teams, and we'll break these 3 teams down in the next 3 weeks. I'm going to go off cuff. I'm throwing out some oddballs. I'm going to go Oregon State because I like their running back, and I want to see what DJU does. Okay. I'm going to go with Duke because I love Riley Leonard, and I think that kid is going to wow a lot of people this year in the quarterback position. He's mobile, all right, and he got a howitzer. Now, does he have the talent, on the offensive side of the ball to put the numbers up? I don't know, but he did it last year, so we'll see what happens. I'm going to go Big 12. TCU on the rebuild with a lot of guys leaving, JoJo coming in to replace Q. So I want to break that down. What team do you want to start with next week?
Well, just because I don't want to say the Pac-12 and I don't want to go all the way to the East Coast, I think we're going to stay the purple and roll the TCU. Give people what they want to know, what's going on in the recruiting stage there. They lost a lot. A lot of those players are here, at the combine. So
they got 2 QBs that have 0 experience coming into it. And I keep reading that the gentleman on that team that's going to start for QB position is somewhere in the portal. So I think it'll be an interesting one to break down. I want to see, JoJo went there for a reason. I wonder if he thought, Garrett was going to stay there or not. I don't know. But it'll be interesting to see because he's got some talent. JoJo's is a legit wide receiver talent. So
I said we go with another Pac-12 team and roll TCU next week.
That's Big 12.
Or sorry, another Big 12 team, not Pac-12.
Yeah, all right. Well, I mean, if you want to go Pac-12, I'll let you pick the team.
I want to stay away from it. That way we go back to the Pac-12.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we can't. I'm gonna go with we're gonna have to go with like a sleeper because I have a funny feeling that we might have to go talk to my boy Teterio, the wide receiver out of Arizona. I don't know. I just think he's going to blow up again this year. I think he's going to take over.
I'll be down with that.
All right. Jared, it's always a blast. I mean, you've been busting my chops, making me work like an animal all week, you and D now, but you guys have been grinding. I appreciate everything you've done. Appreciate you, sir. Take us away.
Hey, you've killed it all week. We've obviously made you work even while you're working. So I think we've sent you at least 100 videos this week. So there's that. Appreciate you popping off. And, hey, until next week, let's go.